All right, here we are. We are live. Here we are. Here we are. Friday. Awful quiet in here. Probably going to stay quiet in here, but we're going to have some fun no matter what. Sit here and rock and roll a little bit. So, the week has been very successful. I was down from week one of Carnivore until today. I'm not good at math. You're gonna have to excuse me there. So it's 513.2. That's 498. Oops. Nope. It's 5, 1, 3, 1, 2. 494.2. So I am down in just under 2 weeks, 19 pounds on the carnivore diet. And my goodness, it feels good. I could not ask for more. It's been fantastic. I feel really good. The lethargic days are starting to slow down a little bit. Feel more energetic. The last couple, coming into week 2, I was very, very energized. I was waking up every day, crack of dawn, just rip rearing, ready to go. It's kind of slowed down a little bit. I've been struggling to wake up the last couple days, but maybe that's just differing sleep schedules and such. We'll kind of have to wait and see and go from there, but not bad. Not bad. Overall, super happy with everything. I've been getting a lot of pool time in. Logging meals has been going fantastic. And I started yesterday. I had to get better documentation, but I am logging all workout sessions now, so I'm going to start putting that out probably sometime next week. I mean, anyone that sees this, you can let me know too. Yeah. Let me know what you want to see and breakdowns and all this other stuff. And I'm trying to track this as accurately as I can. I kind of threw this whole idea for this weight loss voyage and journey and all this stuff, and it all just kind of got tossed into existence. So I really haven't had too much of a time to plan yet. But we're getting there. We're absolutely getting there. We're making progress, and I'm super content. Every single one of you guys that's come through for comments and thumbs ups and even a bit of hate. There's a couple angry ones in there that don't seem to like the fats too much, which, that's fair. I'm a fat, and I don't like the fats. Self-loathing, I suppose. Or the fact that I simply didn't care for all these years, and I know the consequences of where these people are going. And to see the state of the world and see all this fat positivity and body positivity and whatever guise they want to hide it under and say that looking like me is good, I assure you it's not. Your joints are going to learn. Your chest is going to learn. You ever woken up at 3 a.m. thinking you were having the big one, chest pounding, heart thumping, left arm hurts, saying this is it, heart attack at 35, it's over, fat man lifestyle's killed me. It was a burp for me, luckily, but I shit you not, it was bad enough that I thought I was having the big one. The Stronk could taste metal. I don't know, everyone says every time you hear about heart attacks or strokes, everything you hear about, everyone says it tastes like metal or you smell burnt toast. It's always one of the two. So now anytime I face a minor situation in my life, I smell burnt toast. I'm also curious, the way I handle problems, I think, has been a large part of my weight gain as well. I've always been very, very good at letting large problems like this slide the whole time and then snapping out over stubbing my toe on something. So I don't know. The food's always been a coping mechanism. It's just so goddamn good. It really is. But we're done with all that. We're finding a better way where we can still have tons of crazy good food, and that has been carnivore. It's been really, really good so far. So we're gonna give it a couple minutes to see if anyone shows up here. We're actually gonna do a review of Mr. Ferrigno. He is a YouTuber and streamer. Ferrigno Freedom is the name of his channel. I highly suggest you guys check him out. We're just gonna do a little reaction here. He had a video from a little while back about him hitting the 4-year mark on carnivore, and with me just starting it out, I'm very curious to see what the course of his experience was like and maybe get a gist of what I'm heading towards. So we'll give it about 10 minutes or so. We're going to hang out, see if anybody shows up, and we're going to do a nice review reaction of this whole thing. And I don't know, we'll run the whole stream for about an hour or so, see if anybody shows up, and go from there. I was highly recommended this gentleman by a couple of viewers that came in and gave comments to me a while back on some of the videos. So yeah, like I said, we'll check it out in a moment here and kind of see what's going on. Again, whoop, 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 okay. There, we'll just center the whole thing up. I'm still learning all this streaming stuff and video editing, so I'd like to apologize for quality assurance things. I really am learning as I go with all this stuff and piecing it together, and I don't have much of anyone around to help with any of it, so figuring out as I go. So if my videos come off a little low quality or cheesy or cobbed together by, I don't even know, toothpicks at this point, that's what it is. And hopefully I'll see some improvements here in the meantime. I'm not gonna lie, they say the camera adds, what, 20 pounds? I feel like the camera's adding 75 pounds right now. It's probably not. I'm just a big tuna. But we're fixing it. We're absolutely going to fix it. Again, like I said, I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to repair over the course of everything there. Man, I can carve my whole thing right there. So, I don't know. We're going to see what we're going to be able to fix. I think the biggest issue I've been facing this week has been my joints. Absolute nightmare fuel. Absolute nightmare fear. It was probably around, I want to say 2013, I started feeling really, really off. I was driving CDL out in the oil fields, and just middle of the night out in God's country. I mean, just surrounded by hay fields of just 8 and 9 foot tall grass. And somewhere over the course of that, a lovely deer tick, or as I would like to call them, nature's dirty hypodermic needle, latched onto me somewhere and bit me. And over the course of that, apparently it must have sat in me and cooked for a while. I had no symptoms. I never felt a bite. I don't even know anything happened. But within 6 months or so, the world was collapsing. I thought I was absolutely dying. I was having anxiety attacks. I thought I was having heart attacks. I was getting rushed to the ER. Nobody could figure out what's going on, when finally I found a specialist that, against the will of many other doctors, told me and my fiance at the time, or not fiance, girlfriend at the time, and my mom, that a lot of times that Lyme disease can present with no symptoms off the bat. So a lot of people say, oh, you get Lyme disease, you get the big bullseye. I got nothing, and it turns out that you can get bit by a bug that you can barely even see with your eyes and get infected with this lovely disease. So it sat in my system long enough that it's pretty much chronic, is what I've been told. All the cognitive stuff and heart stuff, and it can affect the electric stuff in your heart and throw your heart rhythm off. All of that we luckily treated. We got to in time. I did rotating antibiotic therapy for around 9.5 months. This was probably around 2014 after being diagnosed. It took damn near a year and a half to even get a diagnosis as to what was going on. And yeah, so we got rid of that, but no matter what really happens over the course of time here, it's really, really shredding my cartilage up. I mean, absolutely going to town on it. And back then, I want to say I was probably about 390 to 400 pounds, which is generally where I've sat for the last 15 years of my life. And after that, it kind of hopped up a little bit. I took a lighter duty job, still driving trucks, so up and down the ladder on the side of the truck all day with Lyme affecting cartilage, with all this weight on my body, and eventually what happened is my right knee decided that this side right here on the meniscus wanted to go and pop over to here. And when it decided to come back into place, come back and find its home, it was good enough to come back to its home. The piece of outer meniscus, the cartilage around the ring of your joint, actually snapped back into the middle of my knee and got caught in the middle there. And this took, with our lovely healthcare system, it took me almost 4 weeks to get in for a surgery. And in the meantime, it just got worse and worse and worse. So my knee is cobbed together. That was really one of the first major injuries I was dealing with. And from that, I slowed down. I couldn't go up and down the ladder anymore. I couldn't run. I haven't ran since that day. And I want to say that was beginning of 2018, late 2017, early 2018. And that was the last time I've ran. Which sucks. Do you know how bad it is to say that? How bad it feels to live that? Like, you know how bad I walk out my door and I just want a full-blown sprint. And you just can't. And that has to stay pent up inside. And it just eats at you and eats at you and eats at you and eats at you. So you can't run. I can't climb hills. Me and my now wife, we used to go all over upstate New York. There's nothing but majestic waterfalls. And just the Adirondack mountain range, and just, it is absolutely stunning out there. And we would go and find some of the coolest outlooks and waterfalls and outcroppings, and we would just go see the world and nature a day at a time. And I kind of majorly lost an ability to do that, because a lot of these places you have to kind of hike through the woods to get into, or climb a lot of stairs to get to them. And all of a sudden with my knee, that was out. So that was another factor of depression, I suppose. And yeah, it just kind of snowballed from there. I mean, my big ass started tumbling down the hill. Next thing you know, it was a lot easier to play a video game and eat some goddamn Kraft mac and cheese than it was to even try and deal with my problems at the time, which in retrospect to this day, I spend all this time wondering why I couldn't just tackle it at the time. I don't know why to this day. But anyway, things progressed, and I ended up taking an office job because I could no longer drive a truck, which sucks. Driving CDL was an absolute passion of mine. There's something about ripping the Jake brake, going down a steep grade with 100,000 pounds behind you, oil field equipment, just not the best impression, but you know what I mean if you've ever been around trucks before. And just throwing 18 gears around, and man, you feel like the king of the road. You're constantly getting a new view all day at work, and I truly miss it. It was something special for me. It really was. And I regret being where I am because I've lost that, and it's something I'm never going to be able to go back to because my knees are so shot and back is so shot. Unfortunately, it's also a career path where many people, even if they don't end up as big as I am, they also end up still having a lot of health problems no matter what. Not the best path to go, but I very much enjoyed it for what it was. And the office job all of a sudden came with girls in the office bringing in food every day to pass around and doing potlucks once a week and bringing goodies and sweet treats in and takeout. And that's right when DoorDash and all this other stuff came out, and I was just ordering all that at work, and it just racked up and 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 racked up. Next thing I knew, I was probably 470 pounds. I was exploding out of my clothes, literally exploding out of my office clothes. I'm an oil field CDL worker. I got dirty, gritty Carhartt everything covered in flowback and muck and mud, and the few pieces of nice clothing I had that I wore to the office, I almost couldn't even wear anymore. I mean, I was just exploding out of the buttons on the shirts and pants and everything else. And next thing you know, I'm showing up to work and busted up pants and shit. I'm lucky I didn't just rip my ass out of them at any point and moon everybody in the office, but I didn't. And it just progressed. It just progressed and progressed and progressed. And same thing. It's always been the resonating thing in the back of my mind that I'm sure many other people that struggle to lose weight or say they're a body positivity person and they're happy who they are. I don't care who says that, coming from personal experience, it resonates in the back of your head. Every single minute of every single day of all you want to do is get the weight off and move again and be yourself again and be young and chipper again. And it's like, it's all you think about, yet me and so many other people just can't seem to pull it off. I don't know what stops us. Maybe it's, for me, it was depression, anxiety, just the ease of use. You fall into this hole where you just got delicious, sweet treats in front of your face 24/7, and just nomming down, and being a vegetable starts being a lot easier. It was also around that time period where I was entering my 30s, and you know, the whole friend groups, everyone's starting to split and go their own direction, and everyone's getting married and having kids and starting a life, and yeah, so it kind of toned down. So all the distractions of friends who want to go out and do stuff and do all this other stuff, that starts fading away. That cheeseburger's still there. That box of Kraft mac and cheese, still looking at you from the pantry. It's always there. It's always there. I shit you not, I used to eat 4 boxes of Kraft for dinner. 4. On bad days, 5. Was I ever even hungry for it? I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you if I had an appetite for any of it that whole time. I just wanted to do it, so I did it. I will say, shoving cheese in your mouth is a pretty frequent problem that a lot of people tend to have, because cheese is just fucking great. But it progressed, and it kept getting bad. I mean, it was getting to the point I had to go up to the 2nd floor at my office job, and it was, by the end, I almost couldn't even get up the stairs without breaking through that office door, and I would just be huffing and puffing so loud that people would be looking at me. And I don't know, it's another thing. It's just another thing on top of the pile. Like, why are you not losing the weight? Look where you're at. I'm coming back with a cheeseburger from across the street, or that got delivered downstairs, and literally just getting back up the stairs to my office is becoming a problem. Yet you persist. You keep going. It's just, I don't know, it becomes your way of life, and you just kind of go from there. Hey, Jim, what's going on, man? Dude, I'll tell you what, man, the cravings they're really not bad. Really not bad. See, the thing was, when I led into the carnivore, I wasn't really eating that bad from before. I was already working with a dietitian before that, so my meals pretty much consisted of eggs for breakfast. I was having coffee with like half and half. And then lunch, I've never been a man for lunch. I usually just skip it. And then my dinner for probably the first month leading up to carnivore was usually around a cup to a cup and a half of ground beef with some rice and some vegetables. And maybe a little soy sauce or something like that. Or liquid aminos. If you ever need a substitute for soy sauce, it's way lower in sodium. Check out liquid aminos. But it really wasn't bad, because I wasn't eating a crazy sugar diet. I wasn't throwing down carbs like crazy. Just the problem was, I don't know, it just kind of snowballs. You know what I mean? It's like, I wasn't eating the worst, but I also wasn't working out like I should have been. I kind of took 2 months off from the gym there. Nowhere near my worst. Starting out when I decided to take this whole voyage was probably about a year ago. My brother's wedding was the worst I ever weighed. And that was 562 pounds, and sooner or later I'm getting together like a full story of mine to make a full video out of, and I have a picture from that is literally gonna blow people's minds when they see how bad it was. I was wearing 6X clothing and it barely fit at that wedding, and I think the thing that set me off was when you see the picture of your studly brother and his bride, and they're just smiling and laughing. It's the best day of their lives, and you're standing next to them, and you look that bad. It was an absolute wake-up call for me. And that's when I started. See, my thing was, it was never sugar for me. Like, I was never into, like, the super sweet stuff, like candies or ice creams or any of that stuff. Savory, savory, savory all day. I am Mr. Mac and Cheese, Mr. Chicken Wings. Oh, it truly is. This picture is unreal. I actually had to stop. I almost didn't make it to the wedding. Is the worst part of the whole thing. Uh, I think I finally decided that I was going to go a few days beforehand, and I was already at such a bad point that my clothes, I literally didn't have clothes that fit at the time. So me and my wife, we had to track down a casual male XL or a destination XL or something like that because it's really the only place I can go for clothes. There's no other outlet I can walk into that caters to gentlemen of my stature. And I had to buy 6X stuff for the first time in my life. And when I got down there, I figured, okay, you know, at 6X, I'm covered up. I'm fine. You know, no one's even going to care. I look fine. I got clothes that fit. And I shit you not, I see the picture of me and my brother and his bride, and that 6X shirt is already lifting up off the bottom of my gut, and I can see a portion of my gut hanging out. And I said, dude, no. No. I said, no. Hey, let me know how the sound settings are, too. This is like my first time doing one of these streams, so I want to make sure that the music isn't blowing out my voice or my voice drowning out music. I'm just trying to get all the audio stuff set up, and it's really hard to tell from my end where everything's at. Exactly. I'm never going to have to say that again, and I'm so happy that I didn't miss it. And I believe it or not, there might be pictures of this somewhere. I'm going to talk to her and see if I can dig it up. I did actually make it out onto the dance floor at one point. It wasn't good. I mean, it was more of a truffle shuffle, if anything. I don't know if you've ever seen the Goonies with Chunk doing the truffle shuffle, but that was about the best I could pull off. But at least I did make it out on the dance floor. And I got to cut a rug and groove and boogie, but I just remember being surrounded by family and a whole new side of my family that's marrying in, and everyone laying eyes on me, and the family that hasn't seen me in years. And yeah, I gotta find out if it exists. I know they're shooting a lot on the dance floor, and I'll see if my sister-in-law can dig it up. I'm sure she's got it on video somewhere. But it was me realizing through the picture, but it's also seeing the looks you get from your family, friends who haven't seen you in a while, and they see you in that rough of a spot. And you can tell so many people are so nice about it, and I kind of wish they weren't. Because everyone just wants to be nice to you. And, oh, you look fine. It's not that bad. Which, in a social setting, I guess, but I kind of wish a few of these friends and family had pulled me aside and said, brother, you look like shit. Because it would have helped a lot sooner, I think. But, again, it's so easy to fall into those loops. And that's the thing, dude. And I did it for years. I've been here before you jumped in. I've just kind of been sitting here monologuing my story for the past few years. But it's true. And I mean, I waited far too long to do it. And don't get me wrong, I'm so happy I'm doing it now. But I waited so much longer than I should have. It is. It's hard to hurt feelings, but I'm getting to the point myself where I did the same thing. I've done the same thing, and I've kind of danced around it with people I know who are in similar shoes. My wife as well. My wife's always struggled with her weight, and she's nowhere near what I am. She is a very, very active girl, but she's just heavy set, and I'm getting to the point of finding a better way to talk to people about it. Number one, I could be an example because it's coming from me. But even if it hurts someone's feelings, I think right now it's worth hurting the feelings because you think about what's happening to that person's health or my health in this situation. Worried about when I lose it all? I think you know the answer to that question, and most people know the answer to that question is we already know the end result here is this is going to look like melted rubber. I'm going to have nipples down by my belly button. The loose skin is the biggest thing. And I know it's manageable. I know there's surgeries for it and plenty of ways to go around things. So, like I said, that's kind of my fear of getting to the end, but I don't even want to call it a fear of getting to the end. I just want to call it the next bridge to cross once you get there, because this is, skin. Absolutely skin. And it's going to be rough. I almost guarantee, I was talking to my weight loss doctor about it. If I can hit my target weight, I'm probably going to have 30 to 40 pounds worth of skin, which for a lot of people that have loose skin, it's kind of a cosmetic thing. and they don't really know if they want to get rid of it or they just learn to live with it because it's really not that bad. But I believe I'm going to have so much that this surgery is actually going to be required because the damage to my knees and my joints, because I also deal with Lyme disease, that I've been dealing with Lyme disease for 10 years, that my joints, the other big thing is my joints, and I can feel improvements. Biggest thing I'm doing in the gym and in the pool and with yoga and stuff is trying to strengthen all the muscles around my joints because they're in very rough shape, specifically my knees. I had a very, very bad knee injury years ago, and that's just kind of snowballed more into the weight gain and just progress. But my joints are so bad right now. I guess my other truly great fear is that I get the weight off, I get to where I want to be, even I get the skin fixed and everything else. My greatest fear is that my joints are going to be so damaged that there's nothing I can do for them. And as of right now, I put out a short earlier when I got done at the pool today, and when I do my pool, I kind of alternate because I can't really do anything heavy with my legs, like leg presses or like a leg day in the gym, because my knees are so rough. I really can't do that. So when I do the pool, I'll alternate between like 250 to 500 meters of swims, and then I'll swap over and do like pool sprints. I'll do that nice and light and back and forth. But even today, when I was doing the pool sprints, picture this as my kneecap looking right at you. I could almost feel instability rocking on my meniscus. So that is truly my biggest fear. Truly my biggest fear. Oh, I know for sure. They're going to improve. Hundreds of pounds off them. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. I mean, from where I started at 560 to now, which I got the weigh-in coming up, fresh weigh-in coming up. Pretty much the minute I end this stream, I'll probably end the stream here at like, I don't know, like 10 to 6 or something like that. And the weigh-in will be out at 6 p.m. But just what I've lost so far and the amount of mobility I've regained I don't think I have it in here still. And another thing I haven't shown on video, and I don't think I have much footage of it because when I first started, I wish I had started documenting this whole thing when I was 560 because a lot of the roughest stuff. Yeah, I've already talked about replacements, but back to what I was saying, it was essentially at 560, I could get out and fake the funk. Like if I needed to go social places or a doctor's appointment, I could get around and do it, but around the house, dude, it was honestly getting to the point where I needed walker assistance to get around the house. It was getting that bad. And just the fact of what I've lost so far, down from 562, that I'm outside walking the dog, I'm getting to the pool, as much as it hurts, as much as there's joint instability, it's already exponential how much better it is. Looking forward, how much you think you lost this week? You know what? I kind of thought I was just going to maintain this week because early on in the week, I don't want to say I had a cheat day Sunday. I did kind of overeat pretty heavy on Sunday. It was my one of my dear friends, his daughter. It was her baptism. I was actually the godfather for the whole thing. Large lad, hey little lass. And but I kind of had just a heavy weekend eating because there was a big old party and stuff. And I actually looked, and from the Monday weigh-in going into Tuesday, I actually came back up like a 0.9 or so. So I started freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just going to maintain and do that. And I wasn't expecting to carry over like the 15 pounds I saw last week. I didn't think that was going to stay every week. I knew that was going to taper a little bit. I won't say this, you're going to have to watch the weigh-in to get the actual number. I will say I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm not going to give up the information that easy, but I am pleasantly surprised with where it turned out. And that's it. It could be. Me and my wife have the water debate all day, so it kind of just, I fluctuate so much. See, it's one of those things, I can literally fluctuate in one day. I could fluctuate 10 pounds up and down. I shit you not, just off of water. Which, speaking of, there's a wifey lurking in here right now. What do you think about water weight? Huh? We have this argument all the time. But that's it. But like you're saying, I think, I mean, you think overall, I'm still at the upper end of 4 here. So you figure getting down to 3. I got almost 200. Oh, I know. The weigh-in's going to be great tonight. It's going to be awesome. Kenworth actually has a speaking role. I can't believe it. The dog actually participated without me even coaxing him in the video. But yeah, I mean, 200 more pounds coming off, which is scary to say. Think about that. 200 pounds coming off. I'm still going to be 300. A little under. A little under. All water weight? Oh my God. If it's all water weight, pop me like a balloon, woman. Just pop me and watch me explode all over the floor. Oh, hope all you guys are staying hydrated today, too. Important, important, important. That has always been another one of my massive struggles, is staying hydrated. But yeah, Jim, for sure, 200 more pounds. 200 more pounds. I'm still going to be high 200s, which it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell where I'm going to end up. And it's even my weight loss doctor with the BIA scans and all this other stuff and the indexes. It's like, yeah, if only it was that easy. Oh my God. Just get a funnel, leak it right out of me, it'll be fine. Oh my God, can you imagine the smell of that? Oh, I don't want to think about it. But yeah, it's a lot to come off. But like gauging where I'm gonna end up to, we don't even know. I think when I graduated high school, I was about 265 when I graduated my senior year, and I had a bit of a punch. I wouldn't even call it a gut, just a little pouch, and I was probably about 265, and I also gained maybe a little under an inch. Mega liposuction. You're gonna need a goddamn engine off a 747 to pull that out of me. That will be a very interesting sight to see, though. Jet-powered liposuction. We're actually talking ideas here. Say, Jim Bob, you should just patent that whole thing. Oh, I've always struggled. I shit you not. This whole thing with my weight has been probably around since 8 years old. And I was never, all through high school, I was never mega obese just because you're young. I was staying so active. A lot during my youth as I just have a very different physique. Hey, Enjoy, what's up, my friend? How's everybody doing today? We're just kind of chatting and going over life stories and everything else, and we're actually just talking about liposuction powered by a jet engine, so welcome to that conversation. But yeah, it's been a lifelong struggle, and I remember, it's funnily enough, and it's a weird way to start, food was always good. I don't want to put the blame on other people, and I'm not trying to do that at all when I say this. But I grew up, my father, to this day, my father's about to be 70 years old, and he is 5'10", maybe 174 pounds soaking wet. The man is a string bean. My brother is built exactly like him, and my mom is like 5'4", and just a tiny little lady. She carries a little bit of weight, but nothing crazy. And they all can eat 24/7, whatever they want, and never gain weight. They have all the same genetics, and I kind of just grew up around that. I'm not blaming them for it. I just grew up in a situation where, man, everyone just housed everything 24/7 and just never gained weight, and it was fine. And we had to do some family research to see where I came from, because I tower over my father by like 4.5, 5 inches on him, and I'm well over a foot taller than my mother. So I was actually kind of getting Dad to ask questions if I was really his or not for a while. But it turns out my mother's side of the family, we actually looked at some of her uncles, and that bloodline on her side of the family, they're all around my size, just absolute giants, because I'm 6'4" right now. Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, they're slowing down now. They're slowing down now, Jar, for sure. For sure. They can't do it like they used to. My dad's finally hitting the breaking point of where he actually has to control what he eats now, but that's at 70 years old. I am doing fasting. I want to say I'm doing light fasting right now. I'm doing a single meal a day is what I'm doing. It's probably, I want to say I'm between 18 to 20 hours in between fasts, somewhere right around there. Sometimes earlier, sometimes later. I'm just kind of playing it by ear. Hey, thank you so much, Minnie. Thank you so much. I cannot believe we hit 100 already. That is insane. I've seen so many channels that take I don't even know, a year, 2 years to reach that, and you guys have been absolutely amazing. I mean, thank every single one of you guys so much. But Jim, back to what I was saying, it's just one of those things, and just they could always eat and do whatever, and I just never really cared. I just kind of lived the same lifestyle. I remember one of the first things, and again, I'm not throwing my dad under the bus for this, but the first time I realized I had a weight issue is I was kind of wrestling with my brother or something, and my shirt flew up. And I want to say this was around 8 years old. I remember my shirt flying up and my dad coming over and making me lift my shirt up and saying, "Son, you're growing tits. We got to change this." And that was my first time realizing that I had a slight issue. And it wasn't the greatest way for him to lean into that. And I mean, I think from that statement alone, I don't know, that resonated and sat with me for a while. But it snowballed. I've just been a big dude. I've always been heavy set. I can't help it. I love food. I've always loved food. But right, dude. Right. That's my intro to fat boy time at 8 years old. You're growing tits. So I don't know, and that made me, I swear that's probably like I started getting anxious at 8 years old about it and worrying about it at that time. But yeah, I don't know. It's just it's been a snowball since then. I was involved in sales. Right out of high school, I got into bartending and stuff, so I was always around bar food and drinking. I was a very heavy drinker in my early 20s, which most people are, let's be honest, but heavy. Some might say weapons grade boozer in my 20s. I know, right, man? And that kind of snowballed into a sales job. And next thing I know, I'm doing high-level power equipment sales. And every time you're with the sales crew, oh my God, it's every night. What restaurant? What bar? What are we doing? And it's just bar food, fatty shit, pizza, just night after night after night after night after night. And when you're working 15 hours a day to fucking get all your shit done in sales, it's like, holy shit. It's like you don't have the time to get in the workout, get in the gym during the day. I didn't think I had enough time. And I was still to the point where I think my one saving grace here is that I am such a giant that it actually led to this getting way farther than it could have, because you think someone who's 5 foot to 5'10", who's carrying the weight I am, they're going to be immobilized. I mean, most of the guys that carry that kind of weight, they can't even walk. Maybe wheelchair, maybe assisted with a walker or something like that. But my problem was I was always so big, 6'4", and just an absolute unit. It's like hard to tell on the camera, but I mean, I'm as wide as a door frame at my shoulders. So I'm an absolute unit of a dude, and I think that strength actually kind of worked against me because I never felt that overweight. No matter how big I got, I was still able to jump up and down, in and out of trucks, and climbing all over semis and all this other stuff. So I don't know. It was just a snowball, and I think the biggest... Yeah, they really do. They really do. I've seen some of those episodes of like My 600-Pound Life. There was one episode of 600-Pound Life I think I watched, and it was the worst part I saw is the woman was in a wheelchair, and her husband, who's also a very portly man, is trying to wheel her up the ramp to get into the weight loss clinic. He's trying to get her up the wheelchair ramp, and he's struggling so hard, and the guy just goes, "It's like trying to push an F-250 up a hill." He says. Like, oh my God. Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying, Jim. It's like that height. The height, and it's just, I've always been so big and so strong that it's just, dude, even at 470 pounds, until I cracked my knee in half when I was 31 or 32, and I split my knee open, I was still jumping in and down out of the back of trucks and stuff like I was nothing. The F-250 bit, oh my God. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I think it just kind of snowballed over time. I think career paths had a lot to do with it. Laziness, anxiety, depression. I've always dealt with anxiety and depression like crazy. It's just kind of a family trait. All my family members have dealt with it their whole life. That was a very large part of it too. And that's honestly one of the biggest things, because think of it, it's just the landslide effect. You're going to get fat, you're going to get hurt, your joints are going to get hurt, you're going to get more depressed to that. Then because you're depressed, you're just saying, oh, screw it, just give me some more food, let me relax, leave me alone, and you just get worse, and then you get more depressed because you're making yourself worse, and it's just da-dun, 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 and Next thing you know, you roly-poly yourself into looking like this. I think life and career-wise, my biggest detriment, which sucks because it was my favorite career I've ever had, was driving CDL. Yeah, no, absolutely, Carnivore. Absolutely. No. No, you can definitely see the relation there, and I can definitely say I've seen it firsthand. But my biggest downfall is driving truck, which sucks because I absolutely love driving truck. I drove oil field trucks, 15, 16-hour days, 6 days a week, one off. I was making killer money. But you think about that, there's no time to live. You have all the money in the world. You're sitting on your ass 15 hours a day shifting gears is the only workout you get. Maybe up and down the ladder a few times. You're stopping at the worst places in the world because you have nothing with you. By the time you work 16 hours to get home, you're not meal prepping. You're not doing anything. You're eating at the worst places in the world. Gas stations, hole in the walls on the side of the road, whatever you can find. Burnout, way better to carnivore. Dude, I'm telling you, Ed. I'm telling you. 2 weeks of carnivore, my depression and anxiety have come down. They're still there. They're still present. I'm still being treated for them and working with people on it. But I've seen it come down. Like, it didn't come all the way down the mountain, but I've gone from here, like, down to here. And the amount of peace that I have gained in that little bit, and it's not just peace, and it's not just I'm not anxious, I'm not depressed anymore. The clarity of mind, just my thoughts and how I can convey ideas to myself and how better I am at tracking results and writing things down and keeping on top of it and memory wise. 2 weeks, and I'm already seeing crazy improvements. 43, you can barely walk, uses a cane, doesn't do anything to help him suffer change. That's rough, my friend. It's rough, and sadly, it's one of those things. Your friends who drove you, no life. You know when you are and you're finished. Absolutely. You know who you are when you're finished? Because you learn on the way, because you have to do it. You can have support. I have an amazing wife. I have an amazing friends, you guys, everyone, support. I have all that. At the end of the day, guess what? That is all amazing, and it makes it easier. It's all on me. I'm the one that has to do it. Yeah, no, it works the same. And Jim, I'm really sorry to hear that about your brother, man. That's right the age I'm coming up on. I mean, I just turned 39 a few months ago. Does the time right, Bucky? Right? Dude. Dude, I'm telling you, like, I mean, this much focus and this much drive I haven't had in so long. But yeah, Jim, it's your brother. It's one of those things that he's just going to have to decide to do it on his own or not do it on his own. And the heart failure is scary. And somehow, luckily, I've had a lot of tests done. My heart, everything else is good. I've lost my gallbladder. I lost my appendix. So I'm pretty much out of organs I can run out of. But as far as that, I'm lucky. My lungs, heart, all that stuff, my blood flow, everything looks really, really good. So I got lucky in that regard. My biggest issue is joints. But I truly hope your brother, man, show him the videos. Like you said, I'm putting myself out here because there's a lot of people who are in that shell and know how hard it is. And I just want to help them. I want people to see where I'm at and hopefully avoid getting into that position themselves, you know? Hopefully. We've had a lot of people reach out. I've had quite a few people say they've already started their journey. No, the grumpy chihuahua has awakened. Yeah, man, don't let it go any longer. It's time. Now or never. It is, you say perhaps, it is 100% now or never for me. This is the last chance I have. Junk food, carbs, the drug you think the only that brings you some happiness, I think. Dude, I'm telling you, for me, I always thought it was like, the problem was like cigarettes, alcohol, all this other shit I did way back. And it turns out it was food the whole time. Like, I can quit smoking, quit drinking, I'm going to be fine. I can keep eating dirty. What's it matter? It turns out that was probably the worst one. Cigarettes too. Never smoke. But all that's in the past. I drink. Now that I'm on carnivore, I'm not going to be drinking for some time. I think I'm taking at least 6 months off. But I think alcohol-wise, even the last few years, maybe once every 2 months, I'd have a couple drinks here and there. Again, weapons grade alcoholic in my early 20s. I've drank enough that I'm good. I'm good. And Ian, yeah, the junk food cars. We were actually talking right before you came in. Me and Jim were talking whether it was a sweet or savory thing. So I'll pose the same question now that we got a bunch of people in here. For you guys, what is it, sweet or savory? I'm Papa Savory. I'm fried foods, cheesy foods, pizzas, wings. Cajun cheese curds were an addiction for some time, but I know a lot of people at sugar, and I never was. Like I'd get down on some ice cream, a little Cold Stone here and there, but I was never big on sweets or like candy or candy bars, any of that stuff. Oh, absolutely, Bucky. Absolutely. And the thing is, it's like you realize how dulled down your senses get, especially your sense of taste. Because one week into carnivore, and I was eating, I don't know, I did red meat for a couple days, and I started cycling in fish and chicken and a bunch of other stuff, and man, it was getting a little more savory every time, a bit more mesquite every time you look at it. It was just, it starts tasting better and better and better and better. But the thing is, by like Friday of the first week, I had to go to an appointment, and I didn't know if my breath was good, so I kind of just found a piece of sugar-free gum and threw it in my mouth. And even sugar-free gum with just the aspartame or whatever the artificial shit they put in it is, which I'm trying to avoid as much as possible. I have a little gum here and there. It tasted like I put a lump of pure sugar in my mouth after like 5 days on carnivore. I couldn't believe it. Like, it was almost like puckered, just whoo! It was bad. Yeah, a lot of salt. But no, it's been going good. I kind of got, you guys, you'll probably see in the weigh-in here in a little bit. Or weigh-in's coming up in like 15 minutes. That should be live. Again, I'm not sneaking any numbers out there. You're going to have to go watch it and see. But I thought I was kind of going to maintain this week. I didn't hit what I hit last week, but I'll say I'm pleasantly surprised where things turned out this week. But yeah, it's just, there's a lot of good food out there, man. There really is. There's a lot of really, really good food. It's hard to avoid it, but man, you guys have made it so easy for me. I mean, just the fact we got you guys in here, I can't believe there's just people in here live just talking about the whole thing right now. This is absolutely amazing. It truly is. Thank you guys for showing up, by the way. This is cool. This is really kind of one of the first one of these I've done. I think I did a couple test runs where I played some video games and stuff and did all that, but I'm trying to move away from that as a whole. Video games are fantastic for a lot of things, but I'll tell you what, it's a very easy hole to get sucked into and dump your life into if you let it go way too far. Especially if you look at how most of these games are just turning into digital casinos by the time you're done. That's a tale for another day. So it looks like we got the salty. Do you think your weight loss is slow? See, Jim, here's the biggest thing, and I kind of bring this up in the weight loss video tonight. It's kind of rocking a hard place right now because that 15 pounds I saw last week, or 13.2 or whatever it was, it's amazing because my knees are in such rough shape. If I'm chunking pounds off like that, I'm taking pressure off. I'm easing up on the knees. And I think that's an awesome strategy. So I don't mind going super hard right now, but I also think getting down to, if I can get to a consistent like 5 pounds a week where I'm also bringing my muscle mass up. I don't even care about bulking out and being ripped and all that. That's for way down the road. But if I can at least maintain my muscle mass, because on my BIA scan last week, it did come down a little bit. If I could lose a consistent 5 pounds while maintaining or slightly gaining muscle, I think that might actually help with the skin too. That actually does give all the loose skin I'm going to have to deal with by the end. It gives it a lot of time to somewhat retract. I know a lot of people have told me in a lot of videos I looked into, if you pace yourself a little bit, it does help with that. But it's rocking a hard place. Do I want to worry less about the skin stuff later on, or do I want to get the weight off my knees because the knees are so banged up? I think personally it's the knees. I'll deal with the loose skin because guess what? You can already see it starting to happen. I mean, that's going to be bad before too long. So no matter what, I'm going to deal with the skin. So I think the aggressive approach is probably the best right now just to get the weight off my joints. For 1400. I mean, it's also more because stored carbs, water retains with your glycogen and intestines. Now you're really, and that's the thing. I didn't quite burn as much this week, but dude, I'll tell you what. I mean, I feel fantastic this week. I was the last 2 days, maybe just slightly lethargic in the morning. I think I didn't sleep well. I was tossing and turning. Another big downside, I'll make a video at some point, but I do wear one of the big CPAP masks for breathing at night. And that's it. That's what I'm saying, Jim. If I'm going to get it removed down the road, I'm going to be scarred up, cut up. I can cover myself with tattoos to cover the scars. Who cares? So I think the aggressive is the play. I do, in the weigh-in video tonight, I do go over that topic, though. Let's see. Bucky. Have you stuck with just meat this week? I think you said 1,400 a day. I have. I've been pure meat this entire week. Actually not pure meat. I've been doing eggs. A lot of eggs too. So meat and eggs. I had one night of red meat. I did tuna one night. I did a salmon night. Tonight I'm actually doing a bunch of little cod fillets, maybe 1 or 2 pieces of bacon, some eggs on the side. And I've been struggling to hit numbers this week. I've been absolutely struggling to hit numbers. This GLP-1 is literally, it is hitting me like a truck. So it's been really, really difficult. It's been difficult. I think, I'll tell you what, give me 2 seconds. I actually have a food log. I'll tell you right now. So one of the biggest things that's been helping me is just logging every day. Log. Make sure I got everything checked and crossed and dotted. So I can tell you my numbers right now. So let's see. I was 1366 on Monday. Tuesday I got a little less. I was 1030 on Tuesday. Wednesday was the day after my GLP-1 shot, so absolutely no appetite. I literally got 470 calories in on that one, so not fantastic. Another low day last night. It was 842 last night. And I think what I'm looking at tonight, I should hit around 1200 tonight, but again, this GLP is so strong. I plan out my 1200, I sit down, and next thing I know, I'm 700 in going, ooh, I can't make it, but logs. Very, very important. Very important to do all this stuff. Make sure you're tracking every single thing. No, not Ozempic. I am on Ozempic is pretty much as that's like the big brand name one that everyone talks about. That was the flagship one. That was the first one that came out. And that was actually a drug that initially came out to treat diabetes and control blood sugar. And what they found is when they were doing their human trials and all this stuff is it was a massive, massive appetite suppressant. So through the course of that, they've changed it over because I am surprisingly, one other thing about my health here that's very surprising is not only am I not diabetic, I'm not even close to pre-diabetic. Maybe I was getting there at 560, but we took my blood sugar yesterday post-meal, 81 at my weight. That is actually unreal. Yeah, Bucky, it literally, it takes away your will to eat. It's the weirdest thing. And it's not just, you don't feel hungry here, like it's mental. Like you start losing your taste for certain kinds of food. And it's something I'm going to start scaling back. You can't just stop taking it. But I am going to start rolling it back. I talked to my doctor the other day. So in like 3 weeks, we're going to start back the rollback process. Because there's days 400 calories, 800 calories. Like, dude, I'm 6'4". I'm a big boy. Even with underneath all this weight, I'm a big boy. So I need to be getting more than that. But I'm also shredding weight so fast at 1,000 calories. It's like that. But I really want to make sure I'm doing it the healthy way, even if I'm going super, super fast about it. And Jim, back to what I was saying. So Ozempic was the initial flagship, the diabetic treatment. My wife actually did that for some time, and when I talked to the weight loss doctor, they started me on a new one called Wegovy, which is basically all that one does is the appetite control. It kind of regulates your blood sugar and stuff, but not really, just because you don't need it. And I went from that one, which was moderately strong, to now I'm on one called Zepbound. It's just a once-a-week injection, and dude, I am telling you, you don't want to eat. Like, you lose the willpower to eat food. Yeah, Ian, that's the problem. I'm losing muscle because of that. And I don't know if you guys saw when I did the BIA scan last week. Here's my BIA again. So my resting metabolism, these scans are phenomenal, by the way. If you guys ever get a chance to get one of these, it's awesome. It breaks down per limb, torso, your weight, your water, whole analysis of everything. But actually, the other beautiful thing it shows is your actual resting metabolism. So believe it or not, even being a big boy, sitting on my ass all day, I burn 2,700 calories just sitting here, just to exist. So 1,000 is way too little. I mean, I could eat 2,000 calories a day. I'm still going to be at a 700 deficit. I could bump it up to 15 and still be at a 1,200 deficit, almost 13. Whoo! Eat sticks of butter. I've seen people do that with keto and carnivore and all this stuff. I don't think I could do it. I really don't think I could do it. But maybe we'll get there. It is dangerous to lose muscle. It is very dangerous to lose muscle, and I don't want to do that. Interesting. It's like, nothing tastes good. I was going to recommend melting butter and dunking shrimp. Oh my god! Now see that you throw some shrimp in the mix, you melt the butter down. We're talking. I'm gonna be able to do that. True. See, that's the thing I was thinking, Jim, as well. Is that just what I am, or is it just because my body needs so much to function right now? So it's like finding that middle ground. So what we've agreed to do is, I'm here with the diet, and the dose of the GLP-1 is up here. So instead of just dropping this out and letting this spike back up, what we're going to do is she's going to inch back the GLP, and when the appetite comes back, I'm going to inch that diet up just a little bit. I'm going to bring just a little bit more up, and then if that's going good, we'll stage it. I just kind of want to slowly stage it down. Because you go from something like that kind of regulates your pancreas and stuff, you don't want to just cold turkey stop taking that stuff, any of that medication stuff. And another thing, since we're talking GLP-1 stuff, I do want to talk, if you guys know anyone considering GLPs or thinking about that road, I don't know if I'd recommend them or not. I'll make a video on that probably in the next 2 weeks or so. I want to fully review them because so many people are starting to use them. But I'm starting to see a lot of like websites pop up where you can just go order the shit. Like, not, I don't know if you need a doctor or anything, but oh my god, just tell everyone that's thinking about a GLP-1, avoid those bullshit websites. Talk to a doctor. Always talk to a doctor with that stuff. In what time period? For what, that 2,700, Ian? That 2,700, that's a 24-hour period. As far as I know. SMI, it doesn't really have an hour period on it, but I'm pretty sure that's based off 24. It's actually funny too, you can see the difference between my legs right there. The one that has the injury, it's like 6.5 pounds heavier. But I'm telling you guys, if you ever have the chance to do a BIA, ask, like, if you have a good primary care doctor, a lot of times they have one of these sitting around. You might be able to do it. But I think that's the best strategy. What do you guys think? 'Cause we're just gonna taper and bring it close. In what time period? I'm currently on this dose for 3 more doses. So in 3 weeks, we're going to start the rollback. We're going to do that. She wants me to just, as much as this is going right now, we're losing strong with my joints. She wants me to power through a little bit. So in 3 weeks, we'll start rolling back. I think I'm on Zepbound is the name of the medication right now. And there's actually, I think they scale you up when you come in. They never start you on a high dose. You always start low, then scale up. But I think I've scaled up. It's 2, 5, 5, 10. 4th. I'm on the 4th stage of Zepbound. If you just cold turkey stop, I really don't want to. I kind of thought about it, but I'm really not going to do that. Because the way Ozempic and all the other ones do, they do regulate your pancreas and your insulin stuff. So since it's tied into all that, and with the rapid diet change and all that, I don't want to just, you know what I mean? There's just so many important bodily systems involved with it. I'd rather just taper off it and not have any concerns about bottoming anything out. Best to taper, but the kcal is extremely low. Extremely low, Ian. Extremely low. Like I said, that 470. So my new goal coming up this week, we're not going to roll back yet. I think I might go back to 2 meals a day. Again, I've been doing 1 meal a day is also the problem. So I think if I split back into 2 meals, I think I'll be able to tackle a lot more. It's just right now with the long fast that I do, The problem is, like I said, I put that 12 to 1300 calories on the plate or 1400 someday, and then I'll sit here, me and the wife eat together when she gets home, and next thing I know, 800 calories go. Oh my God, Jim, you want to talk medications? Hold on 1 second. You want to talk medications for a fat boy? Give me 1 second here. Ugh. I just realized I was muted that whole time. But yeah, this is the big bin of pills right here. Big old bin of joy. And you asked me if there's any I'm excited to get off of. Every single goddamn thing in here, my brother. I hope I can get off all of it. I was going to see if the dog wanted to join us, but not look like it. Yep, every single day. Every single day. Blood pressure, anxiety, depression, vitamins. Vitamins are going to stay. Specifically, vitamin D. I am on for blood pressure, a blood pressure dose, and then a water pill on top of that. Acid reflux, dude. I have a little bit of everything right now, and I want to get rid of all of it. But here is, I won't show you all my fine details here, but this right here is essentially what a GLP-1 looks like. This is just a plunger shot that you do once a week. I do this once a week. 12.5, very high dose. Very high dose. You just kind of plunge it and go. I want to be free of all of it, but I will say right now, from me starting at 562 pounds, I don't think I'd be where I was without it right now. It's not something I want to stay on long term. Again, I don't even know if I'd recommend it to anyone, but for me, it allowed me to get to this point where I'm mobile again, and I can start the carnivore, and I can cook, and I can meal prep, and I'm not trotting, I want to say trotting, kind of limping around the house on a walker. But you're right, Jimmy. You are right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can lose without it. So I think I'm going to have to do the four-stage step down. And when you step down, you do a month of each dose. So I think it's going to be, all in all, probably 4 months before I'm off the GLPs. And then once I'm off, I'm good. I'm going to keep staging back from there. Nothing yet. I will say one thing, though. My blood pressure. My blood pressure for a very long time was sitting around high 140s to like 90, over 90. So like 140 over 90 to anywhere up to 150 and anywhere down to 80 and in between there. And we check my blood pressure and blood sugar every single day right now since I'm changing the carnivore and I'm adjusting so many things. And the sugar, dude, I'm telling you, my sugar, my normal blood sugar, because I'm not diabetic, luckily. Somehow I made it through without becoming a diabetic yet. My normal sugar, pre-carnivore, I would sit right around 104, 105. Somewhere around there. Post-meal the other night, I was at 81, which I couldn't believe. Absolutely phenomenal. My blood pressure's coming down. I'm sitting, instead of the 140s, I'm either low 130s to high 120s, so I'm getting back in range. I want to be back in the teens. And I'd like to see that lower number between 70 to 80, but we are already looking at scaling back the blood pressure medication. I have the BP medication and then a water pill on top of that that's also tied into the blood pressure. So hopefully I can lose the water pill, because number one, that water pill is not helping with all this excess water weight. it's actually going to make that a lot worse. So these weeks like this week where I didn't lose as much as I did the week before, and I'm sitting here going, oh, water weight, water weight. Well, when I'm pumping a water pill into myself, that's probably what a lot of it's coming from. But I think the first one's definitely going to be blood pressure. I think for sure blood pressure will be the first one we can get rid of. The CPAP, you asked about the CPAP as well. I don't know about the CPAP. I hope to be able to get rid of it, but I also, there's surgeries you can have for it. No, sorry, grumpy Chihuahua again, believe it or not. There are surgeries you can have to kind of straighten out blockages and stuff that can help with it, but it is also somewhat hereditary. My grandmother and my mother both have them. I take after their genealogy very strong. I mean, my mother's only 160 pounds, 165 pounds, and she still has to use hers like crazy. So that's kind of going to be, once we get the weight down, we'll see what happens. It does, but those water pills actually do help maintain your blood pressure too. It'll actually, excuse me, you can't just take a water pill and it's mega affect your blood pressure. But when you combine a water pill with a blood pressure medication, apparently it steps up that blood pressure when they just kind of work in unison and help each other quite a bit. And what motivated you the most? The wedding picture? Absolutely the wedding picture. And when I dig it up, I will get it out there. Actually, I don't think I have it. I don't know. Wifey, wife, are you still in here? Are you still in the chat? My wife might. If she's in here, maybe she can send it to me. I'm not sure I do, though. Nah, because this is a very old phone. Or no, this is actually a newer phone that's not going to have the picture. And my older phone, believe it or not, is actually what I'm using as a webcam right now. So that one's probably on there. Oh, I'm sure it's screwing with my hormones as a whole. And then as soon as you're messing with hormones, you're adding to the anxiety, the depression, all that stuff's going to continually get worse and worse and worse. And then you're going to want more medications for those because they're getting worse. But like I said, carnivore and all the positivity that you guys have greeted me with is making this so much easier. I've never been this dedicated, this motivated. Again, wifey, you still in the chat? She's an RN and she's at work. She's likely not still in the chat. There's probably someone's heart exploding on her unit right now and they're doing crash cart stuff. But yeah, it's one of them things. Keeps me going on days I don't want to. Oh, hey puppy, wanna come up here? Oh, he never wants to come up. I think honestly the biggest thing is watching my friends' lives grow. We've number one, I have fertility issues. We've been trying to have a kid for the better part of a decade. It's caused fertility issues. I'd love to be a father. That is a big pushing goal. My friends and family, which ties into the wedding picture, is I miss them. I can't, for years I couldn't get out there to see my family. I missed massive life events. I missed funerals of close friends' parents and just stuff like that I couldn't be there for because my weight got that bad. And I'd like to say probably next to that picture, that's the biggest motivating thing is I want to be there for my friends. I want to be there for my family. I was always the big, strong dude, the rock to lean on, the emotional stoic that could just make it through anything and make everybody laugh through anything. And I haven't been able to be that guy in years, and it hurts. It hurts a lot. So that's a huge factor. Huge factor. Got that beat. But that's it, brother. That's it, Jim. Sign me up for one of each of those, Jimmy. Sign me up for one of each of those. And Ian, dude, I'm telling you, that's the things not a lot of people think about. They think, oh, you're slow, you're mobile. Dude, you miss life events. You realize how short and how precious life is, and you miss the simple things and being outside, but it's missing those people and those events. And those people don't want to leave you behind. But you also understand that they invite you to all these things, and you're so fucking fat you can't make it to them, that sooner or later they just stop inviting you because you haven't come the last 10 times. Why are you going to come now? So that's one of my biggest motivators. The last 2 weekends in a row, I've actually gotten out. One of my best friends growing up, I've known him for 30 years. One of my best friends, his kids are approaching 9 years old, and I had never met his kids. Let that sink in for a second. This past weekend was the first time I was able to go and meet his kids and see his house, because he lives way up in the woods on top of a hill, and I actually made it up there to see him. That's it. I'm going to catch up. I am going to catch up. I am going to make it, and nothing's going to stop me. And the more you guys are here, just show me the love, man. You're making it easy. Yeah, that's it. It's they start thinking that you just, oh, you're blowing him off. Oh, he doesn't want to hang out. He doesn't want to see me. He doesn't want to help me do this stuff. But it's not. It's not, and it never was for me. And so I feel like I've destroyed so many relationships over that. Especially family. I have cousins that live a couple hours away that I haven't seen in 5 years. I have cousins that live 30 minutes away I haven't seen in 5 years. So I think that's the biggest motivator. That is really it. I'd almost say that's more so than the wedding picture. I'd say the wedding picture was the catalyst that set the whole thing off, and then their friends and family. It's my time, and it's the last time, because after this, there's not going to be a chance. There's not going to be a chance. If I don't do it now, I'm going to be that guy with the heart problems. I'm going to be that guy with diabetes. And I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen. And wife, too, for my wife. The more I get done, the better I get, the better I can be for her. And that's, for me, I don't know if you guys are married or not, or have kids or anything else, but for me, being a good husband is one of the most important things I can do in the world. It truly is. And I kind of feel like I lacked on those duties, too. But it's big. It's big. Just being able to be there and be a rock for your family, your friends, your wife. That's the motivation you need right there. When's the weigh-in? Weigh-in should be live right now. Weigh-in was, I had it set to go live at 6 o'clock on YouTube. It'll be in shorts. That's it, Ed. Well, your family here all day, my friend. Like I said, we're probably going to start doing these streams a little bit more. I am going to call it here in about 5 minutes. I have an obligation. I'm actually watching my parents' house for the weekend. I gotta go feed their critters and cats and birds and everything they got lurking around over there. But seriously, you guys are always welcome here. I think this stream went so well. Like, I didn't even think anybody was gonna stop in. And next thing, I mean, look at this, guys. Seriously, I'm like getting emotional that you guys came in and we're just sitting here having a good time. You guys are always welcome in here. I'm going to shoot to try and do this stream maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Maybe we'll line up with like gym days, because today was pool day. I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday are pool days. So maybe on those days, I'll just come home and do a stream after that. We'll just have little impromptu get-togethers like this and just kind of review and bullshit. And if you guys got stories, bring them on in, man. I love to hear them all. I love to hear them all. I said it happens like that. Great times ahead for all of us, Ian. Great times ahead for all of us, man. We can all only make each other stronger from here. So, what time is it? 10 after. I got to get heading over there to feed the critters. I'm telling you, I'm the big party man. I'm the big party man. I used to be the guy that would drag everyone to the dance floor every night. I'd turn the most stale situation you've ever seen into utter chaos. I'll give one short story of that before I take off for the night. So, I live in the middle of the woods in bumfuck Pennsylvania-ish, New York-ish, somewhere right in that region there. And I live in the middle of the woods, backcountry, and a real good friend of mine from high school, he grew up in New Jersey, and they moved up here. So when his sister was getting married a while back, it was like an episode of the Jersey Shore come to the country. I shit you not. Like, they had buses coming up and all these guys getting off just Gucci'd out and just, oh my God, blinged up. And it had just rained the night before. So, like, it's just this muddy yard. I remember one guy getting off the bus, and I'm sitting there just backwoods bumpkin kind of guy, just like, oh my God, what's going on? I remember the guy getting off the bus and stepping in the mud and going, oh my God, my Gucci shoes. I'm like, dude, I'm actually in an episode of Jersey Shore. Within 3 hours of the ceremony, I'm wandering around the tent with a super soaker filled with vodka, fruity vodka, blasting people in the face. I had all these Jersey people taking their shoes off, rolling in the mud. So that's what I bring. That's the vibe. That's the energy I bring, man. Get down and dirty. Let's have some fun. So I think that's the tune. And I think we're going to do this a lot more, guys, because this was awesome. Thank you all so much for showing up tonight. I feel like there's a delay. I feel like the stream has like a built-in delay. From what I say to you guys, I think it's probably like 30, 40 seconds from the time you see it. So I'll hang out for another second here if anyone has anything to say. And again, thank you guys so much. This has been absolutely awesome tonight. The support on the videos, the love. You guys are fantastic. I absolutely cannot ask for more. And like I said, over the weekend, I'll try and sort some stuff out. Maybe I can improve the stream quality here a little bit. And we'll do some stuff. We'll review some videos. I was actually looking at... excuse me. Someone had recommended... Oops. Someone had recommended that we check this guy out. This Ferrigno Freedom. We're going to check him out soon. We're going to do that. All you guys have an amazing night. Bless y'all. Thank you all so much for showing up. I cannot thank you enough. Seriously, this has been amazing. You guys have a good weekend. Again, remember, if you guys have the chance to do something kind for someone this weekend, take the opportunity. Stay hydrated, boys. Stay hydrated.